The dining hall of the Cross family mansion was eerily silent. My father's commanding voice, usually resonating with authority, faltered over the phone. No dishes graced the long, linen-covered table. 20 shocked relatives sat uncomfortably before empty plates, the ornate golden centerpiece now a mocking emblem of a feast that never materialized. Across the table, my Aunt Carla's eyes flickered, likely registering the moment the truth hit her. I was 300 miles away in my Asheville apartment, leaning on my kitchen counter, sipping apple cider. "Oh," I said calmly, "I figured you didn't need my help." A heavy, stunned pause followed, then murmurs broke out. My mother's faint voice came through the phone. What's she implying? Confusion, blended with alarm. The same family that excluded me from the gathering had no issue accepting the catering bill I'd settled weeks prior. I'm Melanie Cross, 38, the eldest daughter turned family errand-doer, counselor, and financier. Thanksgiving was always a sacred ritual in our family, not for its warmth, but for its facade, a polished display of unity masking years of favoritism and buried resentments. Growing up in Raleigh, I wasn't a child, I was the help. My younger siblings were cherished, while I handled carpool duties, bandage scrapes, and ensured homework was submitted. When I left for college, I believed I'd finally earned a place as an equal. I was wrong. The betrayal surfaced a week before Thanksgiving 2024. My aunt posted a "can't wait to see everyone" message in the family group chat. I responded, excited too. Hours later, my cousin texted me privately, "Wait, are you actually coming? Your parents said you weren't invited this year." My stomach dropped. I called my mother, bewildered. She sidestepped, then finally admitted, "We're keeping it intimate, just close family." "I am close family," I said, my voice taut with disbelief. "We thought it'd be simpler this way, less conflict," she added. There hadn't been conflict, unless you count me refusing to pay for my brother's car repair or declining to cover my sister's wedding debt. I learned everyone else was invited. Siblings, their partners, even distant cousins. But not me. I may have been left out of the dinner, but they still felt the sting of overlooking who funded the meal. It dawned on me later. My dad had asked me to contribute to the feast, but I hadn't just contributed, I'd covered everything. The turkey, the sides, the desserts. I'd ordered it all myself from Maple and Pine, the upscale butcher my mother loved, and Sweet Laurel Bakery, where she claimed the pumpkin cheesecake outshone anything on TV. All of it was under my name. They didn't just forget me, they exploited me. I made 2 calls. The first to the butcher, who issued a refund in minutes. The second to the bakery, who wavered but complied after I sent the receipt. Then I waited, knowing exactly how this would unfold. On Thanksgiving Day, 12:17 p.m., my phone lit up with Dad's name. I let it ring 4 times before answering. "The food never arrived," he said, his voice a mix of panic and bewilderment. I could hear the chaos in the background, murmurs, sharp whispers, my mother's voice rising like a kettle. I tilted my head, feigning concern. "Maybe check with whoever placed the order." "You placed it," he shot back. "Did I?" I let the pause linger, just long enough to bite. "I didn't think you needed me for anything." An hour later, my cousin texted, "No turkey, no desserts. Every store in Asheville and nearby towns either closed or sold out." My sister, eager to impress her new boyfriend, ended up sobbing in the guest room. My mother locked herself in the bathroom. My father sat silent while my Uncle Ron blurted, "Wasn't Melanie supposed to bring the turkey?" The room fell quiet, then the whispers began. 3 days later, a group text from Mom, "We missed you at Thanksgiving. Let's move forward." Not an apology, just a rug to sweep it under. I stayed silent. Aunt Carla called the next day. "A lot of us confronted your parents," she said softly. "They needed to hear it." But Mom didn't handle consequences well. By week's end, a new narrative spread. I was erratic, dramatic, and had deliberately ruined Thanksgiving. Dad called twice before I picked up. "I don't know what you were trying to prove," he said, barely containing his anger, "but you humiliated your mother." I laughed, sharp and loud. "Funny, I thought she didn't even want me there." I was dramatic. "We messed up, okay? But what you did was worse. Worse than uninviting your daughter after she paid for the meal." I shot back. "You should have spoken up." "You're blowing this out of proportion," he said, as if that would make me back down. It's not a big deal. My pulse roared. Not a big deal? Then why are you calling me about it? I hung up, handshaking so badly I nearly dropped the phone. My body buzzed with fury and sorrow. That night, my cousin Riley texted, "You officially started a war." Apparently, Mom was spinning her version, painting me as difficult, confirming her narrative. Christmas loomed like a dark cloud. I had no intention of attending until Aunt Carla called. "She's telling everyone you're too fragile for family gatherings," she said cautiously, "that you're skipping Christmas because you can't handle conflict. And your dad says he tried to fix it, but you're being stubborn." My grip tightened on the phone. They weren't rewriting my story. On Christmas Eve 2024, I arrived fashionably late to my parents' house, the Asheville air sharp with winter chill. The moment I stepped inside, conversation halted mid-sentence, like a record scratching. My mother's face froze. My father paused, bourbon glass in hand. My sister blinked as if I were an apparition. "Hey," I said lightly, unwinding my scarf with a smile. "Merry Christmas." My mother recovered. "Oh, you came." "Of course," I replied smoothly. "Wouldn't miss it." Then I stepped aside to reveal my surprise guest, my grandmother, her mother. My mother's face paled. Years ago, they'd had a bitter falling out, and Mom had tried to erase her from our lives. But I'd stayed in touch. Grandma was appalled when I told her about Thanksgiving and didn't hesitate when I invited her to Christmas dinner. "My goodness," Grandma said, stepping inside with exaggerated awe. "It's been years since I've been here. Such lovely decorations, dear." My mother looked ready to collapse. Dinner was a tense masterpiece. Grandma picked up her fork, inspected the stuffing, and said cheerfully, "Is this store-bought? Tastes very uniform." I bit my cheek to stifle a laugh. A week later, messages trickled in from cousins and distant relatives. Some asked, "Heard there was a misunderstanding, are you okay?" Others were blunt. "Didn't think you'd be that ruthless." Aunt Carla filled me in. "Your mom's telling everyone you had a breakdown, that Christmas proved you're unstable." I let out a bitter chuckle. Unbelievable, but not surprising. If Mom taught me anything, it's that truth threatens those who thrive on control. If you've ever been the outcast at the holiday table or found strength in standing alone, don't miss what happens next. Subscribe to follow Melanie's journey as family secrets unravel and quiet retaliation becomes enduring strength. The realization hit hard, like a blow to the chest. My mother wasn't just embarrassed, she was threatened. I'd exposed her, and now she was rewriting me as unstable to avoid accountability. I called Grandma. She didn't mince words. "Your mother's been calling around, saying she's worried you're unwell," she sighed. I laughed sharply. "You know that's not true, right?" "My dear," she said firmly, "I knew it wasn't true before she even spoke." That night, lit only by my Christmas tree soft glow, I typed a message to the family group chat. "Hey all, just clearing up rumors. I'm doing fine, no breakdowns, no drama. It's been a wild holiday season, but I'm in a good place. Wishing you all a happy new year." Short, neutral, impossible to distort, a digital smile, and wave as my mother's lies crumbled. Then something unexpected happened. My brother Ethan texted, "Can we talk?" We hadn't spoken in months. I called him, heart racing. His voice was hesitant, softer than I recalled. "I don't agree with what Mom did," he said. I blinked. "You don't?" "She's good at twisting things," he admitted. "Thanksgiving felt wrong, but Christmas made it clear." I stayed quiet, letting him continue. I didn't speak up because, well, you know how she is. "Yeah," I said softly, "I know." He paused. "I don't think you're crazy. Not even close." My throat tightened. I hadn't realized how much I needed that until tears welled up. Something shifted. First Carla, then Grandma, now Ethan. My mother's control was slipping. 2 weeks later, my phone rang. I nearly ignored it, but curiosity and old wounds made me answer. "Hello." Her voice was icy. "We need to talk in person about your little stunt. It humiliated me." There it was, not hurt me. Not, let's discuss what happened. Just humiliated me. Still about appearances. "Sunday dinner, 6 o'clock, she said curtly. "Your father and I expect you." Then she hung up. I almost didn't go, but Aunt Carla urged, "Hear them out." You don't have to forgive them, but make them face you. So, Sunday evening, I arrived at my parents' house. The tension was palpable the moment I entered the dining room, thick and heavy. My dad stood rigidly at the table's end, hands clasped too tightly. My mom sat at the head, like a judge, arms crossed, lips tight, eyes piercing. My sister fiddled with her phone, pretending to be distracted. Ethan sat on edge, glancing nervously between us. Mom exhaled sharply. Do you realize what you've done? I tilted my head. Which part? Canceling the turkey, bringing Grandma to Christmas, or people questioning your story? You're so theatrical, she spat. Dad stepped in, voice low but strained. Your mother's hurt, and you've only made her look bad. She made herself look bad, I said evenly. I just stopped hiding it. Mom's face reddened. The truth, she hissed. Your version, you mean. In my version, you abandoned your family, clung to old grudges, and took revenge over a minor mix-up. Or standing up, I countered, the word cutting through the air. You excluded me, let me pay for the meal, then acted like I didn't exist. We didn't mean to exclude you, she snapped. We thought it'd be smoother, less drama. Then you escalated it. You told people I was unstable, tried to ruin my credibility, embarrass me. Then Ethan spoke. Mom, he said quietly but firmly, you did exclude her. You told everyone she wasn't coming. You let her pay for everything. That was wrong. Her eyes flashed. Don't you start too. But Ethan held firm. No, you crossed a line. You always do when you're backed into a corner. Dad shifted uncomfortably. We could have handled it better, he admitted. Mom glared. What's that supposed to mean? He hesitated. Maybe she's got a point. The room went still, but I wasn't finished. You didn't just exclude me, I said. You painted me as unstable, told relatives I was having a breakdown. Why, Mom? And then she said it. Because I was embarrassed. Silence fell. She blinked, as if the truth slipped out by accident. I didn't know what to say when people asked. It spiraled. So you made me the villain, I said softly. She didn't respond. For the first time, my father looked at her like he didn't know her. Ethan's jaw clenched. My sister, silent until now, muttered, Wow. The truth settled like heavy snow. Lies, manipulation, selfishness, all laid bare. For the first time, I saw my mother clearly, not an untouchable matriarch, not an all-powerful force, just a woman so afraid of being wrong she'd rather tear down her daughter than admit it. I stood. I'm done, I said, steady and certain. I don't need an apology, because I don't think you can give a genuine one. But know this, I'm done. My mother flinched, as if struck. You don't get to walk away like that, she snapped. You did this. No, I said firmly. You shut me out. When people noticed, you rewrote the story, made me the villain because you couldn't face the truth. Her lips parted, but no words came. I turned to my father. I appreciate that you tried, but you let it happen, and that hurt too. He looked down at his hands, silent. To my siblings, my sister's face tightened with guilt. I should have spoken up sooner, she said quietly. Ethan nodded. Me too. It didn't erase the pain, but it mattered. In the weeks that followed, I set boundaries. Mom sent shallow texts. Can we move on? I left them unanswered. Aunt Carla checked in often, her support unwavering. Grandma sent a heartfelt letter. Proud I'd stood my ground. The real surprise was Ethan. In mid-January, he texted, Coffee. We met at a quiet West Asheville cafe, talking for nearly 3 hours. I spent so long keeping the peace, he said. I didn't see how much harm she was causing. Yeah, I replied softly, I get it. In that moment, I realized I wasn't alone anymore. If you've ever been the family scapegoat, seeing the dysfunction while others cling to the facade, you know the ache, the doubt, the heartbreak of being labeled a problem for setting boundaries. You've heard it. That didn't happen. You're too sensitive. Stop making it about you. Standing up to that isn't easy. It's terrifying. But sometimes, the most powerful act isn't forgiveness. It's refusing to play the role they assigned you. The empty chair at their next Thanksgiving won't be my shame. It'll be my peace. If you're nodding along, ask yourself, which tables in your life nourish you and which starve you for love you'll never receive? If you've been silenced, sidelined, or label for standing your ground, share your story in the comments. Support matters. Protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's essential. Choose respect over obligation. If this struck a chord, subscribe. Melanie's journey may be over, but yours might just be starting.